Hey everyone, happy Tuesday afternoon. This is the second video of the day, which is going to be the first video from Sports Fanatic News. I'm Joe Boric on the NBA Power Rankings. I gave it a few weeks to get into the season before I felt like doing a video on the Power Rankings, so it was more of a substantial ranking and not just teams starting out hot, which is still the case possibly now, but at least it's more substantiated. The Score app, which is a very good app that I would highly recommend. You can like players and follow them no matter what team they're on. If you like them, you can follow them. It gives you all the news on that guy or the team or whatever you like. They have the Warriors, Rockets, Celtics, Cavaliers, Spurs, Raptors, Pelicans, Timberwolves, Pistons, and then our Philadelphia 76ers, which some people will probably perceive high, are ranked 10th because of Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, and our defense is basically the outline they gave. Mine is the same in the top five. I mean, the top five's kind of standard. The Warriors, you can't. I mean, as much as the Warriors annoy me, and with Kevin Durant leaving to go there, but in terms of skill, you can't go against KD, Steph, Draymond, Clay on the same team, and they got Iggy on their bench, and they just got a good all-around team. The Rockets, I would keep at number 2 because Chris Paul is now back, and since Chris Paul's been back, they have combined one of the best offenses and defenses in those 5 games in basketball, and CP3 hasn't really looked like he's missed a step, so having him inserted when they were already doing really good without him just makes them even scarier. The Celtics were the tough one to put at 3 because they went on that huge winning streak and won a game without Kyrie, which is big because Kyrie obviously is the heart and soul of that team now that Gordon Hayward's injured. Tatum, who got a chance because of Hayward being injured, is having a great season. So sometimes things happen for a reason, and the Celtics are one of those teams that are doing really good without one of their star signings in the offseason that was supposed to make them take the next step. So they need to be at 3. Obviously, the Cavaliers are at 4th when you have LeBron James, who's averaging almost 30 points a game and is the king. You're going to put the Cavaliers at 4th. If they can start getting more scoring around, like they did a little bit last night against the Sixers, if Kevin Love can stay pretty consistent like he's been more of late, and Korver can become the 3-point shooter that everybody remembers him as, which he hasn't really been in Cleveland this year, they will be obviously very good and start going far again. Plus, they don't have a big guy there. Well, first of all, they signed Derrick Rose to fill in for Isaiah until Isaiah Thomas comes back, and Derrick Rose got injured and is now debating his basketball future. So the Cavaliers have found ways to win these games, and it'll be scary because they're clearly, with LeBron on their team and decent guys around him, they're going to be able to get it done, and as long as buying no big injuries, they will be fine. And once Isaiah Thomas comes back, it would be kind of a little bit of a stretch to say he's going to come back and be exactly like he was, but as soon as he comes back, he adds a lot of another dimension to that team, and they will just take off, in my opinion, from that point forward. And then the Spurs are 5th because the Spurs are one of those teams. Tony Parker just came back, so we'll see how that factors in to the whole equation, but they're right behind the Rockets and Warriors in the West, and now they have Tony Parker, which is a big luxury for 15 to 20 minutes a game until he can work his way back to being in a little bit longer. Still probably only see Tony at this point script playing like about 25 to 28 if you have to push him minutes a game. So, but the Spurs are just those teams coached by Pop that just always find a way to be successful. So you put them there. The Raptors are sixth, even after they were outscored by the Kings, which is a concern. And they did have quality road wins, though, against the Pelicans, which are the team that I ranked 8th. And obviously the Pelicans I put underneath the Raptors because the Raptors were able to beat the Pelicans on the road. Obviously, as we all know, the Pelicans are held down the fort by Anthony Davis and Boogie Cousins, DeMarcus Cousins. And then they have Rajon Rondo and Drew Holiday, two playmakers in the backcourt to go along with those big men. And for a team like that, that's kind of playing some old-style basketball, big down low, which is similar to the Sixers, and then can kick it out and have guys that can shoot, those are the point guards you really just need. And then 7th, I have the Pistons. 8th, I have the Pelicans. 9th is the Timberwolves, coached by Tom Thibodeau. We all expected the Timberwolves, Tom Thibodeau is a very offensive-minded head coach, to have one of the better offenses and take a step in that direction this year. And now they have a top 6 offense, have a bottom 6 defense. So what's holding them back is obviously their defense. So if that can be raised the bar a little bit on defense, you better look out for the Timberwolves because they're going to be a team that'll start edging their way up that power ranking sooner rather than later if they can figure some stuff out on D. Then the Sixers I kept at number 10. They beat the Jazz, Trailblazers, and Magic. We beat them by a combined 70 points. And we blew a second-half lead to the Warriors and played the Cavs pretty good through 3. But it is the Warriors and the Cavaliers, so of course you don't expect them, either of those teams, to go down without a fight. But we stayed in the game, and as Ron said yesterday, we also played the Celtics fairly well for most of that game. So those are small victories that move forward to showing how competitive this team can be. And again, once they figure out exactly, like many analysts have been saying, how to win games and who to mainly, obviously we give them mostly to JoJo or Ben Simmons, but we still take bad shots at times more than some of these teams that are higher up on the list, and make bad passes at times more than some of these teams that are higher up on the list. So once we start figuring that out, and once we get consistent, like JJ Redick's been off and on, Rocco lately has been shooting the 3 as well. So once we get more consistent, and then even when something's not there, what we have been able to do lately has been able to find ways to win some games through driving or scoring down low when our 3-points aren't working. So that is part of why the Sixers are in the top 10 too, because teams that find ways to win games tend to get recognized. So those have been the first installment of NBA rankings. On Sports Fanatic News, have a great day, everyone. Peace out.